This is INCradio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in right now. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. I am Sister Rika as your host for today's episode, and with me is our very special guest that I will introduce to you in just a little bit so we can talk about our main topic for today. All right. Can you smell the air? Smell that? It's pollen. It's allergy season. That means the weather is getting warmer here in the Northeast. And, because it is getting a little warmer, a lot of us are considering starting a garden, right? It can be a very rewarding and enjoyable way to connect with nature, grow our own food, and also create a beautiful outdoor space. Whether you have a large backyard or a small balcony, gardening offers endless possibilities for creativity and sustainability. So, on today's broadcast, we are going to share some tips backyard gardening, windowsill gardening. Sounds great. If you have any questions about your garden, if you yourself have started your own garden, share us your tips on our chat. And we are going to do our best to read those tips, answer those questions on today's broadcast. So, who do we have to talk about starting your own garden? We have here Brother Philip Souther. Hi, brother. How are you doing?
Hello, everybody. How you doing, sister?
All right, Brother Phil, introduce yourself to everyone in case they don't know you yet.
I'm Brother Phil, the third head deacon in the Cranston, Rhode Island extension. Cranston is an extension from Wyndham locale in the District of New York.
Thank you so much for being on today. So, Brother Phil, how did you get started? I know I asked you this question earlier. How did you get started on gardening? How do you know a lot about gardening?
Well, mostly is that I have my own place here at the house, and I had to beautify the area, pick up the front yard and pick up things. And also my wife likes different plants. She's from Zambales, Sinociso, and Ilocanos like plants. They like to grow things. They like to get their hands in the soil. So we do a little things. We have like some flowers. We have apple trees. We have pear trees and stuff, things like that around the house.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Now, so let's get started right away. All right. So, what is the first thing that you do when you want to start your own garden?
Well, the first thing you want to do is pick a nice site. You want to pick a site that has sun, but also have shades based on what kind of plants or things you like to grow. Some plants like a lot of sun, some plants don't like too much sun. So what you have to determine is it's nice to make a list. Make a list of what kind of plants you like to grow and how big of the area you want, that you want to grow it in. And also that you'll be able to mark it off, and you mark off the areas that you would like to grow your plants and everything. So an easy that you'll be able to water it. You don't want to take a hose all the way down to the end of the yard or something. So you want to start up something basic that will help you out.
Right. And then so let's say, so that's, like having a space, a well lit, but also have the opportunity to be able to shade your plants. So what about those in, like, let's say apartments? Or let's say they only have like their room and like a little window. Are those also okay places to, maybe like have some plants?
Sure, there's a lot of things you could do. Like some people, they have a condominium. All they have is little tiny little balconies. There's things you can do. Some people, what they do, they use a window boxes. You can go out and buy one or make a window box. And some people who like to grow, they find the plastic pails you can get at Home Depot, Lowe's, or if you're at work, somebody's doing something, they're gonna throw away these little pails that they have stuff coming in. You can put soil and stuff, and you can grow out of those things.
And very interesting. And then so after you've picked out where you're going to put your plant, what is the next step?
Well, the next step when you pick out, once you pick out your area and you have, the next thing to do is to prep your soil. You need to prep the soil. So what you can do is you can go to Home Depot, Lowe's, or even on Amazon. They got these little meters you can buy and you can put in the soil. The soil will tell you what your pH level is, if it's too acidy or it's not. So then you have to, if it's too acidy, you have to prep for that too. So it depends also is that what do you want to grow? Certain plants like to grow in certain pH levels, like if you go from 6.5 to zero point 0.7 is most of your plants. They like that. But when you grow vegetables like blueberries and stuff like that, they like to go on the more acidic side, 5.5 to 6.0. So it's based on what you would like to grow and how you would like to hold your garden.
Very interesting. I didn't even know. I feel like, because I don't garden, I don't plant at all, I don't have a green thumb. I feel like I never knew that you had to measure your soil's pH level. I thought like soil is soil, right?
No.
But so that's very interesting. Thank you so much for letting us know about that. Um, so I guess, can you tell us more, if we don't have those monitoring things, what can we use to kind of know if our soil is slightly more acidic or not?
Well, there is a DIY test you can do. You can get two jars, you put water in it, you put your soil in each jar at the same level, and you add your water. Then in one of them, you put baking soda and you mix it. The other side, you put vinegar and you mix it. So when you see it, as you know, is that when you see it, it'll one side will start to bubble and everything. So it'll tell you if it's acidy or it's not. Like for example, if you're acidy, if you put baking soda, there will be no acid showing. So that means it's lower. If you put the vinegar and you see the bubbling, that means your soil's too acidy. Now, if it's too acidy, then you have to add lime to it to bring down the acid. Now, if it's not acidy and you want to bring it up, that's why you notice most people they put compost or they put mulch in their soil. That's also helps to prep it to get it to get it where you want it neutral.
Oh, very interesting. So, I know you said earlier, right? So the plants, they're like the more acidy, or is it
Hmm.
the vegetables? Yeah, the plants,
The
right?
vegetables like more acid.
The
Where the
vegetables like more.
plants they like it mostly they like it where it's at the neutral area, 6.570. Because 6.5 is the neutral for plants. You
Mm.
can, but also when you buy your plants, on the back of it, they give you a label. On each label, it tells you what the plant needs, what the pH level is. It tells you how much sun it needs or don't like sun. It will tell you on. It also gives you a little idea how to take care of those plants.
Got it. Thank you. Now, so now let's say now we know what our soil's pH level is. How do you what are some plants that are very that are beginner friendly?
Well, there's a lot of friendly plants, but also what you sometimes you got to realize plants like to work together. So what you have to do is figure out, you can go online, this helps you out a lot, is that if you like to grow say vegetables, okay, and you want to do organic because you don't want to use chemicals in your vegetables, there are herbs that you can plant with those vegetables, like Miracle Gold. You can put those in your vegetables that keep the pesticides away, the bugs and everything. You know, you can grow Bailey, you can grow mint, you can grow different herbs, and at the same time, you can utilize those herbs in your cooking too. So you're doing two purposes. You're growing flowers. You got some herbs in there to keep the bugs down and everything. You grow them in your vegetables. You got them. You get to use those herbs when you want to eat too. So it does two purposes when you use different plants. So the easy way to do it is you can Google online. It's very easy. You can pick out a plant or a vegetable that you like because everybody has different tastes. And
Mhm.
then you can have with the capability where they get along with will grow. Like for example, a lot of people like sunflowers. They're
Mhm.
nice. You get to eat them after the seeds when they're ready. But there's sunflowers take the nutrient out of the soil. So you wouldn't plant sunflowers closer to your vegetables because they'll eat your nutrients that you need in your soil for your vegetables. Then so you can put, that's why you always see your sunflowers with your plants and everything, your regular plants. Now in your vegetables, there's certain vegetables like tomatoes and cucumbers, they don't get along. They get good along in a salad, but when you grow them, they don't get along in the soil. So what you have to do is research on what vegetables you like to grow and which ones are compatible. Because some vegetables grow better with certain vegetables, some grow better with herbs and stuff like that.
Got it. Wow. I didn't even think of that. All right. So let's say I know you mentioned earlier when we were talking, there's different plants that you can grow like annually. There's plants that you can grow depending on like different seasons.
Yes. Well, when you grow plants, like if you set up a plant, you want to grow flowers or something, is that you got annuals. That those are the ones you start off with the seeds and everything. And primaries are the ones that are like bulbs and stuff that comes out every year. You don't have to go. So when you put your garden together and you're growing flowers and stuff, you want to grow flowers. For example, there are those that comes out in the springtime. There are those who come out in the summertime, and there are those who come out in the fall. So when you do your garden, you get your list, you put together the kind of flowers and stuff you want. You want to make sure you get a little sample of each. So this way, as the season goes along, your gardens is blooms and you get more flowers or plants will grow in different areas. Instead of you got spring, now you get the whole yard. There's no flowers at all. So what you need
Mm.
to do is research on the type of plants you like and also the based on the season. But also when you buy plants, you got to look out for the zoning because there are plants that grow in certain zoning areas. And that so that if you're going to buy plants, some people go online, you can buy plants, you can buy seeds, are very cheaper. You go online, you can say free seeds. There are seed companies give away free seeds. So you can get free seeds. Now if you go to the Auburn plant site, they give out free trees, fruit trees, different types of trees that you can grow in your yard. So the things you can get online. So what you got to do is make a list, go through what you want to grow and see what is compatible, and also do your research online that you can spend less money if you look for the free stuff.
Oh, interesting. So basically, the zones tell you what you can plant or like what plants best grow where you are in your area. That's what it means, right, Brother Phil?
Yes, it does.
Very interesting. So I'm trying to think like what zone would we be in here in the Northeast? Is it like a
Okay.
different?
Now let's start since we're the district of New York, so I have to cover not just Massachusetts. I don't want people to think. So we'll go over a few lists. Is like if you live in the Maine area, our zoning for our brethren in the Maine is 3 to 6 zone. That means certain plants, because if you'll notice, Maine gets mostly the cold weather. They get the cold that comes out from the ocean. So there's certain plants that will not grow there that you will get in the other part of the states. So we go there, and New Hampshire is closer to Maine, so you got 3 to 7. As Vermont is in zone 4 to 6. In Massachusetts, we're in zone 5 to 7. Now, Rhode Island, Connecticut, 6 to 7. But if you get to New York, it's anywhere from 4 to 7 into New York area, especially Long Island. They like the zone 7 plants. That means the weather there. So when you buy a plant, look at the bottom of the label. It'll tell you what zone they grow in. So you can make sure you get the right plants for the right zoning area.
Got it. And these, like, this information, like the zoning, what plants you can um plants or vegetables you can plant in these zones, it's all available online. Everyone can can take a look at it and see what they can plant, right?
Yes, I have one that I go to is it's called gardenia.net. If
Mhm.
you go there, and they have a free, it's a you can sign up for free, but free only allows you 5 plants. But for $25 a year, you have access not just the plants that you like and everything. You have the zoning. You have a they have a uh you click on it and you can design your whole garden area. You can put the plants in there, move them around and stuff. So you can utilize something like that. That's also free on the sites.
Got it. So for those of you who are interested in oh, we see. Sorry, I was looking at the comments. Brother Chris and Brother Carlo are talking about how this topic is great in setting up for our landscaping contest. So,
Yeah. Well, then I'm not going to give a lot of secrets. I got to keep some for Wyndham, because we really need to win. We're always we're one of the small locales, and we're trying our best this year to win. We really need to we really need to get first place, but we'll settle for second or third. At least we'll get our name mentioned in Wyndham and Cranston. They're out there now. They're a little rained out, but they're out there. Let's give a shout out to them. That let's keep our gardens going so we can win the district.
well, you got a great start already there. They have you, Brother Phil, to coach them on all of the plants. So, Um, so continuing with our topic, right? So now we know what plants to start with, right? What we want to plant and all of that. How do you Let's talk about watering plants, fertilizing plants. What is that? How do
Yeah.
we do that?
Well, fertilizing, we always want to do that when we prep the ground. Once we do our soil test, that's when we're going to put everything in there. If we have to bring the asset up or bring it down based on what we're going to grow, vegetables, or we're going to grow plants. Now, after that, watering, there's a lot of tricks in watering. Some people use soaker hose. These are little tiny hose that you can put around your garden, your flowers. You can go in and out and everything around your trees and stuff that you can turn the water on a timer that will give the water plants. And some will have little sprinklers that these hoses go in. They act like regular sprinklers, but they're for plants. And you can put valves in them. You can shut off certain areas, and the waters will spurt out in different areas for those. But then we have our, like you said, our brethren who live in apartments and stuff like that, and they don't want to put a garden hose or something in their house. There's a little DIY for our brethren is that you can get a water bottle, and in the water bottle, the cap, put a little hole in it, and then you can put a toothpick inside that hole. Stick the bottle into your plant thing, whatever plant size you have, and also it will water the plant at a little at a time. But also on if you go to Amazon, they got these fancy glasses that has a bulb on the top, and the bottom gets narrow that you stick in the soil, and it waters the plant at the same time.
Oh, very interesting. Yes, I feel like I've seen those in like social media, those little shorts where they do poke a hole on like the bottle, and then it kind of like it's like a drip.
Yes, that's what it is. It drips little by little.
So
Like us,
how?
we for us,
I'm sorry. Go
my
ahead.
wife likes orchids, so we have orchids in the windowsill. And people don't realize your orchids don't throw them away if they die. Give them to me. Our
Oh wow.
orchids grow all year around. What we do is we put ice cubes once a week in each one. Now orchids, you got to realize the roots come out. What you got to do is take them out of your pot. You got to trim them down a little and put them in nice little soil. But they don't like to be watered. They like the little sun and everything, but they don't like to be watered too much.
Mhm.
Just like your cactus plants,
Mhm.
they don't like to be watered. If you have cactus plants, if you want to grow, you got to use a sprinkler. You got to sprinkle with a spray bottle for the cactus, and for those you got to use ice cubes. To keep those going.
So I just we have a little plant here. Can you see it? All right, it's a little blurry, but it's
Mhm.
it's it's right here. So this little plant, I just water it once a week. Sometimes I forget. So I guess I don't know what this plant is called, but this is perfect for beginners because it doesn't need much sun either. It actually doesn't like too much sun. It dries out really quickly under too much sunlight. So we just put it in one of the shelves over there. We water it like once a week, and then we leave it alone. It's perfect. It's like a cat as a plant.
Yes. But things you gotta with plants and plants that's inside things like that, you gotta watch out for the roots because you get root balls. And if it's too much root balls, they're saying, hey, I want to grow. You got to put me in a bigger pot. So you might have to get a little bigger pot and get some fresh soil and put them in there and put some pea moss in the bottom of the pot before you put them back in. And also, what you can do is put ice cubes in there if it doesn't want too much water. Just put ice cube or get a sprit bottle and sprit the leaves. Hello, Paul.
Radio.
Hello, Bokar Robert. Thank you for watching while you hear him watching on his phone. Hello, Pa. We also have special guests.
Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
Pa.
Hello, Paul.
So happy to see you all on YouTube.
Thank you, Pa. Thank you for visiting, Pa. Everyone, come say hi, Pa. Thank you, Pa.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
We have our cameo from our district ministers.
I didn't know
So
you had a fan club there, sister.
I know, but they're just waiting outside and watching on their phone. So thank you so much. So yes, I got really distracted. And like some plants don't require a lot of watering, right? And I
Yeah.
know you also talked about soil. So which plants require a lot of water, which plants don't really require a lot of water?
Well, mostly your plants, your vegetables require a lot of water. The better you water them, and they love sun. So you got to get a lot of sunlight for. Now your plants, your regular plants, they like water, but once a day is fine with them. They can go a little longer, without water. So you don't have to water them as much. That's why you get those little hoses that I said, the little sprinklers. You just turn them on a little, and you give them a lot. Watering. The best time to water now. Remember, it's very important when you water plants. Don't water in the afternoon. The best time to do is late at night or early in the morning, because you got to realize when you water your leaves and the sun hits it, it burns it. It'll turn yellow. It can kill your plants. So when you water your plants, that's why some people have timers. They water early in the morning or late at night.
Wow. See, I didn't know that. I just water my plant whenever I remember it.
No, you
So
have to pick the time to do the watering. It's very important because some people they run home for lunch and the first thing they do, oh my God, I forgot to water it this morning. And then they do that. And then they want to know when they come back, the plant leaves are crinkling up, wrinkling, and turning yellow in spots and getting fungus because you overwater them. So you want to make sure that you don't overwater your plants.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so again, for all of our viewers and listeners, make sure you water your plants either at night, right? At night or early in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Ooh, good thing I asked that. Good thing you talked about that, Brother Phil. All right. So I guess we're getting towards the end of that. Um Before we do end our topic, Brother Phil, thank you so much for all of that information. We hope that that has inspired everyone that is listening to, start their very own garden, even if it's just a little small space, right? Maybe in their apartment or in their condo, or if they have a nice spacious backyard. Of course, remember, you got to start small, right? You have to make sure that you learn what you need to do first, and then once you're able to do that, then you can grow a bigger array of either plants or vegetables or whatever it is that you are planning on planting. So, Brother Phil, do you have any shout outs or greetings or any last advice for those of our viewers who are starting their own garden?
Sure. The one thing about flowers that would help, especially those who have condominiums, they got a little deck there, and they're worried about mosquitoes. You can grow plants that keep mosquitoes out of you instead of using chemicals. Like miracle plants, lavenders, mints. They'll keep the mosquitoes away from you. So put those on your back porch. Put those in your windowsill. If you live in an apartment or something, so the mosquitoes don't come in your house. So things like that you can do. I like to give a shout out to our brethren in our district, and also our brothers who are coming in from the Philippines who are joining our session, and also to our locale in Cranston and Wyndham. Let's get those gardens going. Let's make sure we win this year. Make Brother Michael happy that he can, among all the ministers, he can say our local finally won something. So let's keep it out. And also a reminder that our Sports Fest will be in New England. So let's get ready for that in May 26th and 27th. That will be in Rhode Island. So you will all shout out and see you all in Rhode Island, hopefully, that we have 100% in our district attending our Sport Fest in Rhode Island.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Brother Phil. We learned so much. I am kind of itching to start planting. We'll see. Hopefully, maybe grow some vegetables. I know my aunt grows some vegetables in the backyard, so maybe we can add to that collection. All right. So we'll go and talk about some of the activities that are coming up. So we do have the Unity games for Forest Hills. We have Unity games in on May 4th. Um, Please communicate with your local CFO officers for more information about that. We also have CWS Day and CWS Special Gathering happening on May 11th and the 17th. What else? I had the list here with me. Yeah, so we have that. I know that there are a lot of Unity games also in each local congregation. So please make sure to coordinate with your local CFO officers so that you can join in all of these Unity games. And let's all get healthy, right? And let's all grow just like our plants. Okay, so we're going to talk about the hashtag challenge winners from last week's broadcast. So third place, we have Syracuse. Congratulations. Second place, we have Portland. And first place, we have LIC and Woodside. Congratulations. And then our top hashtaggers are number 3, Blessy. Number 2, Hannah Aquino. And number 1, Rowena Valdez. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all our hashtag winners. So let me read really quickly some of the comments that we have. We got good morning to INC Radio New York from Brother Harry Davis. Greetings to all the brethren in Long Island City from Brother Robert Parsha. I know you saw him earlier. We have Brother Abraham Evangelista from New Jersey. Good morning from a few states south. Lillian Maniebo, happy viewing po from Johnsonville Extension, hashtag Johnsonville, hashtag Bristol. From Sister Mila Hidalgo, Sister Abby's not here, but her mom is representing her in the, in the live chat. Good morning, Paul District of New York. We have Sister Emerald Jane Vidad. Happy Saturday, District of New York. Sister Joy Ann Andres says, we have pink peonies in the garden that are always a pleasant surprise. Perennials are the best to plant because they come back every year. Yes. We have Brother Leon saying gardening is cool. Brother Carlo Lim says good information po from Belmore. Brother Chris said, like earlier, let's prepare for our landscaping activity. Sister Cheyenne says, I learned to love planting from our previous landscaping activities, and I love flowers, so maybe I should start a garden. Yes, you should. This is your sign. Start now. All right, and again, we have a lot more comments. Thank you so much once again, everyone, for joining us. And we hope that you learned something new today. That is all for our show. We thank you so much to the church administration for giving us a platform to share and speak about interesting topics like these. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And we have our Minister Brother Edward and to our Christian Family Organization Coordinator and Subsea President, Brother Angelo Aranya Manalo. Also, greetings to our INC Radio station manager, Brother Wally Taday, and our executive producer, District Minister, Brother Neil Patrick Omelda, our CFO advisor, Brother Jason Flores, our multimedia bureau advisor, Brother Chris Arnedo. And that brings us to the end of our show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Happy planting, everyone.